What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, and we bring you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream over on Twitch at This Is Aftersound. So come by, say hello. We do giveaways every stream, and we do giveaways every week here on the channel. All you have to do is leave your in-game username in the comments, and I go through and pick out my favorite comments every week on the Monday weekly Q&A videos. So what do I want to talk about today? There was so I'm following the Maverick Chat, and there was a comment that kind of blew my mind because I hadn't really thought about it in this way yet, and I honestly just hadn't even given it any thought. But now my mind is racing with just how potentially game-changing this is and how level of a playing field it is. So what I'm referring to is the Splinterlands official Discord, and within there is the Maverick channel, the Maverick House channel, which is, I believe, for people who have purchased 1,000 packs or more in the past. It's somewhere I'm hoping to get in the future, but obviously I'm not in there now, so it's just a read only type of situation. But lots of really interesting folks in this channel, and one of the comments that I wanted to look at was one by Neil 2 commas 2 Castle, and Neil is a regular chatter in there. So Neil, if you ever end up watching this, I appreciate a lot of the perspective that you provide, and I think this one really caught my attention. But it's essentially what he essentially said was 84% of cards are going to be Chaos Legion cards after Chaos Legion is out, right? And he was responding to something that some of the math that Quantum Nachos was doing, where Quantum Nachos was saying that Chaos Legion, with the amount of cards coming in, both rewards cards and through the official expansion, would be 4 to 5x of all the previous collections combined, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So look, let's say the math, it doesn't need to be perfect, but even if it's close, right? Even anything over 70 or 75% means that 3/4 of decks that will be comprised and playing within this will be made of Chaos Legion cards. So why does this matter? Well, it kind of goes to what, the title of this video was, like, Chaos Legion really is ready for mass adoption because we are getting this whole influx of players. And when this expansion releases now, less than, potentially about a month away at this point, maybe less, hopefully, we are going to have a situation where, 70, 75, probably 80+% of decks are going to be comprised of a lot of the same cards from the newest expansion. That to me is crazy. That to me is actually awesome because, for several reasons, right? One, the modern format was already a good idea. It's something that I'm very excited about. And to me, it provided a somewhat of a level playing field for those who just got into the game recently, right? Where you don't need to have a lot of these older cards. And yeah, it just made sense with how a lot of other card games play their formats in not play to earn, but like, Magic the Gathering and some of the other ones do. But the second thing was the fact that there are going to be so many possibilities. And when I think about how dominant some of the cards we are already seeing within Chaos Legion are and how much they've changed the meta, I'm just excited for what is to come with Chaos Legion because Jin O'Shaughnessy, Jin Chawala, Naga Assassin, some of these new abilities that we're starting to see that may not have popped up fully yet, but Amplify, Backfire, like so many of these things are going to change the meta of the game quite a bit, right? And I do believe that a lot of these new Chaos Legion cards will be able to go toe-to-toe with the alpha, beta, and all those older cards. And I think back to Untamed, right? Now, I wasn't around when Untamed was released, but I'm looking at the legendary summoners that came out with Untamed. Kitty, Jotun, Llama. You have combos like Llama and Kron. It's just one of those things where we don't know what's coming with Chaos Legion, but there could be some very OP cards that, again, change the meta and make it available. Like, these cards will be much more available in terms of quantity for the new players coming in, right? Now, in terms of collection power, alphas will have the most, right? In terms of the amount of CP that they provide as overall power, that makes sense because we want for them to retain their value, and that makes sense that this is the best way to do that, that they provide the most power. And some of the other conversation that ended up happening within this thread here was, well, it seems like maybe a lot of the alpha cards will end up being used for land and other things where power is much more required, right? So that they will be able to retain that value overall because you'll get more power per card, whereas with subsequent sets, we've seen that power drop significantly. But I don't know. This just made me excited. This made me like really excited about it. Like as a newer player, obviously my focus has been on acquiring all of the rewards cards, the Chaos Legion rewards cards right now, and leveling those up and hopefully maxing those out in the near to short term, and then starting to do the same once Chaos Legion is out as well. So now the fact that most of the other players that I'll be playing against will be running decks that have these cards, and actually probably even more so because the players who come in and aren't buying a ton of cards will be playing with the starter decks, which will now include Chaos Legion and Untamed, right? So that, I don't know, that to me just says that most of the cards we'll be playing against, most of the decks and most of the players that we'll be playing against will have cards that are at the same or similar level to what I have as a newer or new-ish player. And even if you're just coming in today and getting started, you can start to make your decisions on what kind of cards you want to buy and what kind of, decks you want to be able to play. Obviously, for me, I'm waiting for a Chaos Legion because I want to see what ends up coming out. But that to me is, again, exciting because most of the players will be playing with Chaos Legion cards, which, as I'm saying it now, it makes me a little, it's making me have a little FOMO regarding the Untamed and previous cards, right? Because, well, Untamed specifically, and I'm not trying to say anything here. I don't even know that I'm going to buy or start buying any Untamed cards, although I'm sure many will take what I'm about to say or what I am saying right now as, a reason to start collecting Untamed cards. But if most people are playing with Chaos Legion, then all of a sudden in modern format, Untamed becomes there's only a limited amount of Untamed cards, and at that point it's probably going to be a 10-90 or 90-10 or maybe even 95-10. I don't know what the split would be in terms of whatever it is, but even if it is just an 80-20, right, 80% Chaos Legion and 20% or probably it's not going to be 20%, but we'll just say 80-20, anybody who has these Untamed cards, and I'm talking specifically Untamed Epic and legendary cards, because you'll be able to play the level 1s of all of the Untamed rares and commons, right? So now all of a sudden I feel like, well, there you go. The value of Untamed in my eyes just shot up a bit because only a few select people will have access to that, right? So I don't know, just kind of spitballing here, thinking out loud. I wanted to share this with you because this statistic, like I said, kind of blew my mind that 84%, we'll just say 80+% of cards are going to be Chaos Legion. And especially if you're playing in modern format, as I am planning to, all of a sudden it's just like, well, hey, what Untamed cards do you have? Because you are going to be way ahead of the pack or be in, the top percentile of people who don't have access to a certain ability or card or whatever it is that could be game changing in many ways, right? And there are a lot of those cards within Untamed. And I'm not even talking about the legendaries at this point. Two that immediately popped into my mind, and we've seen the value shoot up already, so I'm not trying to shoot the value up even more, is one is Torhilo and the other one is Axemaster, right? Which are both Untamed rewards cards. So again, these are, I guess, another batch that will not be included, right? So in the starter deck. So again, okay, I'm just kind of rambling on here. I wanted to share this statistic with you. To me, it's really exciting. It makes me feel that I can actually be very, very competitive if I go all in on Chaos Legion cards, because most of the people that I'll be playing against will be running the same or similar types of decks in terms of power level overall, right? So, and when I say power, I'm not talking about collection power, but just, we'll have access to the same cards as many of the other players. And then at that point, if you are able to or are willing to also include some of the Untamed cards, or even if you want to play in wild format and have some of the older cards, it's not a bad idea to have, right? So I don't know. I'm running out of money. I don't have anything else. I've put everything into this game so far. So there's not much else I could buy, but that's a me problem, not a you problem. So hopefully you guys are able to build the decks that you want and go from there. But yeah, really, really exciting stuff. I cannot wait for Chaos Legion. Hopefully this was valuable to you guys. If you knew this already, awesome. If you didn't, I hope it blew your mind in the same exact way that it did for me and made you just as amped for Chaos Legion. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Have a good one.